What we're going to talk about today, you got me over here.
Hell if I know. That was the hard part.
I know. Listen, I was in the middle of some COD. Brand new.
Call of Duty, to be clear, not
Yeah, that probably should be clear.
not COD like.
I guess I should have clarified that.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about burnouts.
And COD.
Listen, we had 5 views on the last podcast I checked.
5?
Yeah,
Where?
on Spotify.
Oh, you mean on Spotify? Does it give you does it give you a watch time on there?
No, I was just happy 5 people watched. It probably did, but I was so disappointed after I saw the 5 that I quit.
Which one?
Well, I put up on.
Oh, well, we got more views than that on YouTube.
Yeah, we do. So,
I mean, podcast being listened to, it's listened to. I don't care where they listen.
yeah,
So,
it's getting there.
I think 5's impressive.
To you, I guess.
Anyway, so what burnout story are you going to talk about?
So, I was at work the other day.
Oh, you're going to tell this
I'm
one.
going to tell that one. And this kid, I'm waiting on him, and he's like, "You that Southern boy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, is that good or bad?" He's like, "I idolized you in high school." He's like, "I waited my whole high school career to do a burnout on senior day, like you and Shane did in that picture." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was us." And it's like, I got down there and I did my burnout and I popped my tires. Like, I got in a lot of trouble though. I'm like, yeah, we didn't really get caught. So the picture, I'll put it up on the screen. I meant to bring my yearbook to show you.
I was going to ask if you were going to have that.
Yeah, you probably don't remember the picture, but
Oh, I remember the picture.
I was gonna see if you were in my car and changed truck.
We talked about this probably
Yeah,
2 years ago. And we pulled out and looked. You can't tell. I want to say I was with Shane though. I don't really remember.
So I'm in my Mach 1 03. Shane's in his RT, Dodge RT,
Oh,
Dakota.
Yeah,
That's about the same year, I guess.
01. Thanks what his was.
So we're at Auto Mechanics, but we're in front of the welding building. This is junior year of high school, and we do this huge burnout, like power brake,
Massive.
stopped, side by side. Somebody was standing between us in the picture, actually.
I don't remember.
I'm
that.
pretty sure somebody was between us. They'll be seeing the picture now,
I
so
have the picture.
if you're watching on YouTube. So we do this big burnout. We get out of the car, go park, and we're like, we're going to get expelled. This is like last day of junior year. So we're going to the next class. Smoke's rolling over the
building.
building. Looks like the place is on fire.
Yep.
And nobody ever says anything. So we're like, we got away with it. So we get the pictures developed later on. Developed because they weren't on cell phone. They were on cameras.
Yeah, get them printed.
They were on a little fun saver, I think. So we get them developed. We put them. I know I put them in my senior page. I think Shane put them in his, probably.
I don't know. Do you think I put them in mine?
Oh, you didn't have one. You didn't have burnout either. So.
There's that.
But the funny part was on yearbook day when they do the big slideshow, we've got them up. We just like slip it into the pile, and it shows up for the first time before the yearbooks are seen on the screen in the Fine Arts Center in front of everybody.
Yeah, I remember that.
Van Hook was at the top of the stairs waiting on me when I walked out.
Yeah, well, because it made him look bad.
I made him look like a freaking idiot. He's like, "Fellers."
Down in his class.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was pretty funny.
But apparently that kid was a junior, or no, he was a freshman then, and he waited his whole time. And that's all the story I got because I was really dumbfounded that somebody wanted to talk about some stupid
How
shit
cool
I did
you
in
were?
high school. I know.
I know.
It's
I
kinda
was pretty dumbfounded that myself when I
Yeah.
heard about it.
Me too.
Yeah. Listen, I know that I didn't exactly participate in that, but I had my own fair share of burnouts. I had the old 1966 Chevy pickup, long bed.
It was long.
And it was long. As long as the day is long. And it had it was supposed to be a wood bed, but it was rotted.
You could hardly hold back a trash over there.
I remember one of the coil springs in the rear was laid sideways for it had fell out of the housing and just got wedged between the two housings, the top and bottom.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yes, it's that way. It was that way forever, man. It just was chilling there. But
Don't
it
you
was.
think you should fix it?
I mean, I did eventually.
We could fix it in Auto Mechanics.
I mean, we could have. You're right. But I remember doing some burnouts in it. That thing was always fun. Had the big old massive steering wheel, no power steering, no power brakes.
I remember the day we took the big right turn and got the weight shifted off of it, and it did a burnout for like 2 miles up that hill.
Once you got that thing rolling, it was a 2-speed power glide. So once you got it spinning and you put it down in low or in first, and you got the RPMs up enough, you could feather it literally as long as you wanted to. As long as you just kept feathering it, it would keep spinning until the tire popped. It had no power. It was just had no way to let the ass in. It was fun though.
It was a beast.
It was fun. That one time I almost got a ticket.
In front of the body shop.
Yeah, in front of the body shop. Yeah, did a big burnout. You had to cut that thing to the right hand side to get the wheel spinning real good, and I got it spinning real good. And then next thing I know, I'm at the stop sign fixing to take off. I did a burnout for everybody standing out there. I felt chest poked out. Felt like I was a real man. About that time, I seen a cop going up the hill across the road. It was a one-way street, and he was going the opposite way. And he turns around, and I knew it. I knew I was busted. I knew he'd seen me do it. I threw it in reverse. I backed up, and there was an old abandoned 18-wheeler tractor trailer, just the trailer part. And I whipped in behind it. I threw it in park, and I just sat there. And I see the cop come through. He literally drove past, and I was like, oh, I got away with it. So I go to get out, and then sure enough, I see his reverse light come on. I said, oh, shit. And I was wondering how I didn't get away with it. And he told me the next time I try to hide from him, to take my foot off the brake so he didn't see my brake lights. I told him I wasn't running. He said, well, what were you doing? I said, I just come back to see what the boys thought about the burnout. Yeah, so I got away with that one, dude.
I don't know how he didn't write you a ticket.
No, he didn't write me a ticket.
That's the same place I did the big posse burnout in the lot and left the black marks and then got us kicked out of there. That's when it had the spare tires on it. Wait, that's why the burnout was so long in it.
What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah. Remember the steel wheels?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So my dad took the Lightning to Carlisle, and they blew 2 tires out on the way up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first one was not an issue. The second one was because they already had the spare on. So they end up buying, they go to this Ford dealer, and they find 4 steel takeoff wheels and put on. They get some home. When they get home, and instead of doing the common thing and buying a set of tires for the truck, he takes the other 2 off the front and puts all 4 of these steel wheels on. So now this Lightning's got like 225s on it or something.
Yeah, instead of, I don't know what they were, 16s maybe?
16s, yeah. Just F-150
whatever the smallest
takeoff
thing
wheels.
you could fit over the calipers.
I'm surprised they even cleared. Well, they don't really have big brakes on them anyway. So this thing would do a burnout. I mean, it's a burnout machine anyway.
Yeah, well, this would do one when you didn't want to.
With those on there, it would not get traction. Like, it would spin as long as you wanted to hold it. That's how that black one. I forgot about that.
Did y'all still own this parts store at that time?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. You get booted out of pretty much your own store.
No, that's because the heavy part of the burnout was in front of the other end.
I mean, the burnout was heavy from start to finish.
So I wonder I didn't go through the rest stop sign.
I wish we had pictures of all this stuff that we did when we was younger. But, you know, it wasn't as easy to take pictures back then. You actually had to have a camera.
You had to have a camera, and if you did take it on a cell phone, you wouldn't be able to.
Oh, yeah. It was like
see it anyway.
1.2 megapixels. You couldn't see nothing.
What about the time you did a condom test on the neon?
I forgot about that. So we had this big debate in auto mechanics about what the best condom was. And I've heard a bunch of people arguing, and I'm like, well, I got a solution to this. So the next day, we all brought in like different brands of condoms, and we put them over the tailpipe. What was it, a 98 Dodge Neon? And we put them over the tailpipe of the 98 Dodge Neon, and we would just hold it on rev limiter and see how big they'd get before they popped. That, honestly, this is no bullshit. That was the reason I decided to start using Durex at the time, because that was the one, that thing, I thought I was going to blow the car up before I popped the condom.
3 kids later, that test didn't work, so don't pay attention to that.
Well, first of all, yeah. But that's...
What about the heater in that thing? We used to play the heater game.
Oh, man.
You know, neon. I wonder where it's at.
I don't know.
If you saw it somewhere today, and it was a piece of shit, and you're like, that's the neon, would you buy it back?
I mean, relative to price.
It was
Probably.
like $500.
I already have another pile of crap down at the house that I bought. That.
That's true.
For the same thing.
You
so,
do.
So
That's a good
yeah,
point.
probably would. That thing had the hottest heat out of anything I've ever.
Do you have a picture of the neon?
I don't know. I don't think we ever took pictures of that thing. It wasn't even cool back then.
Little did we know it'd be a legend.
I know. If we'd have known now what we knew then, but
That
you know,
time
story of
you-
everybody's life.
That dog cost you the wreck.
Listen,
I don't know if the statute of limitations is passed on that. You might not tell that story yet.
well, I can tell that story because it didn't damage nothing but my car.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I hid it for a couple weeks.
Wow.
And then, after 2 weeks of hiding it, because I got the cops called that we had a wreck, I was, what was I doing? We went to the high school. It was me, Shane, and Brittany and Tracy. We're all left the high school, and we were all riding around, skipping school, and it was raining, and I was in the neon, and I thought I was some NASCAR driver, and I wasn't. And went around a turn, it was raining, and started doing didos.
Oops.
It was not good. Hit the bank a few times, and then tire come off the rim. Neighbor come out and seen it. Asked if we were okay. We're like, yeah, we're fine. They called the cops. I booked it. Went to my grandma's house, who was right up the road. Parked it behind her house, threw a tarp over it. About 2 hours later, finally the nerves that we'd called calmed down a little bit. And then about the time we all think we got away with it and everything was good, we see a state troopers coming down the driveway. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, we stayed in the house. And it was actually, I think it was Troy that went out there, my uncle.
Yeah.
And met with him. And Troy at the time didn't have no clue, nothing about it. I hadn't told him. So the cop was asking him about it, and Troy's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. We ain't got I don't own a silver neon, I don't know, or a silver sedan, I don't know what you're talking about. So he leaves, and we go outside, and then Troy's telling me a story. I was like, yeah, it was my car. It's behind the shop, and it's covered in a tarp. So we left it there for about 2 or 3 weeks. Got it out, got a new tire for it, popped the front bumper back out, duct taped the mirror back on, and then started driving it. The very same night that I took it out, I wrecked it again. The very same night. It was me and Trav. Me and Travis were riding around in it. The very same night, after 3 weeks of hiding it, I put it up for that after that for a while.
Remember you wrecking it again? What'd you hit then?
You don't remember me telling you that? I left Mom's house at that straightaway right in front of the house. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Going down to there, wide open. Of course, it was raining again. And I tried to stop to go into that last turn, the real, like, not sharp, but it's like real long, gradual turn. And it locked up on me, and I went through a whole row of mailboxes.
Oh, I do remember that.
Took them all out. Looked like I was bowling with mailboxes. And I was scared shitless. And I threw... Trav's over there laughing. He thinks it's hilarious. I threw that thing in reverse before it was even done sliding forward. And we were going backwards. The duct tape did not successfully hold the mirror on. So we booked it to Trav's house while the mirror was flopping around. And, yeah, I felt bad. Probably should have went and done something with those mailboxes.
Did you leave it? Did you hide it again? Or
Yeah, I hated it at Trav's house, though. Left it. I didn't really hide it the second time because I don't think anyone saw it. I just didn't drive it for a while. I figured I was about to get my killing in that thing. She needed a break.
You wanted an SRT4.
I did. I really did. I still do. What are you talking about? So that was that. I don't think there was any other cool stories than Neon.
Yeah, there was. You're forgetting the biggest, coolest story.
Oh, when we were going to the party?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we missed the road?
We're going to this party, and I'm like, oh, it's right there. Turn. He's like, I got it. Jerks the e-brake up. We spin sideways. Like perfect drift into the road. Like couldn't have happened twice, especially after I've heard of you knocking them mailboxes down and
that was
everything
prior
else.
or after, okay?
Oh, yeah.
It
I
was
don't
probably
know.
after because I'd had some more
You
experience.
mastered the skills of the Neon.
Yeah.
What other burnouts did we do? Oh, the Cobra one. Yeah, that's what we were going to tell. I can't believe you don't remember that.
I don't.
So I was a senior, and I'm rolling through. You don't know what senior parking lot is, but that's just where everybody hung out after school. So I pull up, stop. I've got my mom in the car with me, and we stop and just do this big, just power brake second gear burnout, like smoke everywhere, and pull out in the road, and there was a cop sitting like 100 yards away. So I'm like, so if I hadn't had her in the car, I'd have ran for sure. Because I had enough distance on him where I'd have been headed
Got
out.
away?
I'd have been headed out to 4-lane triple digits, no problem.
You probably got hit by another one on the way.
Probably.
What the hell? Your camera just stopped.
What do you mean?
That's a real SD card full.
Did you forget to take something off of it?
No, I just put this in here.
Great. Well, we're going.
Sorry for all y'all that are
I hope you got some good editing skills.
listening to this.
Man, it's crazy. I'm just sitting here while you're doing that, catching all the
Action over there.
action over there.
Yeah, there's your bank.
Yeah. That's back
Oh,
was walking
hey.
one.
They put the battery back in it for it to work. What a piece of junk. That's going to be a pain to edit.
I got faith in you. You can do it.
If we had proper cameras in here, we would. There you are.
Turn it back that way.
That way.
No. Yep. Right there.
Alright.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Of course, they probably never really lost me because it'll be audio.
No, there won't be no video though, because I'll have to cut that part.
What do you mean?
There's going to be like a blank screen there where your side's going to go blank.
Yeah, but they'll have audio.
Yeah. Well,
I
they
mean,
don't
it's
see your
podcast.
shining face.
No, they probably don't. But that's
Yeah, so the cop comes, and that was before there was a red light there. Blows through the light, I'm like, oh God. So I just end up pulling over at the insurance office. And he comes up, and I'm like, please be Dwayne, please be Dwayne, please be Dwayne. He gets out of the car, it's Dwayne. I'm like, oh God, thanks. He comes up there, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Being an idiot.
sorry, boys wanted me to show off. He's like, give me your license, I'll be right back.
Oh.
So he comes back and he's like, I wouldn't have pulled you over, but my supervisor was sitting there with me. He's like, I didn't have a choice. He's like, get out of here. He's like, I'm probably going to take ass chewing for this, not writing you a ticket. And, I think you wrote me a warning maybe. And I'm like, all right, thanks, buddy. And the next day he's like, your mom ain't mad at me, is she? He's like, I wouldn't have pulled you over, but the supervisor was there and I had to.
We'll probably should have edited his name out.
He's retired now, he's fine.
Yeah, it'll be alright.
If he sees this and comments on it, there's his Easter egg. He probably ain't never watched our channel.
I mean, he's watched a video or two, I'm sure.
Maybe we'll tag him in it for extra likes. Views. There's Paxton.
I see that.
We're watching, for those of you who can't see. We've got the YouTube channel playing on the TV here. So, I feel like our burnouts kind of went flat. We talked for 18 minutes about them.
18 minutes?
Podcasting's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I think it's hard because I think you're wanting to have like a, what do you call it?
Format?
Yeah, format. I think that just makes it so
Not
difficult.
really, but look.
Oh man, look at that. That's before it even had a house.
Oh, yeah, wow. Stay focused.
Oh.
I can't believe this ties in. So here's our cars for the day, our memory lane. That's the white Camaro, which we talked about stacking the gears in,
That's,
right?
Yeah, that's the one that was such a pain to shift.
So lead into the story though, before we're talking about burnouts and getting pulled over, of me racing you, and was it Ledford and that white Chevrolet you had?
What, Ledford?
Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that truck was pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what was done to it, though. I don't think
I
I
don't
ever
know.
asked.
It's like a mid-'80s Chevrolet.
Yeah.
So we raced through town. I'm in this, I'll put the picture up on the screen, white Z28, 70 and a half, all original, 410 gear. I mean, the car probably been built. It ran good. Plus the 410 gear helped a lot.
A lot.
It was loud, single chambers. So we go through town. We made like 2 passes through, raising hell, and then finally raced. I don't even remember the race, really. I'm sure I outran him in a Camaro.
I think it was just so hard to shift.
Yeah, but we weren't racing fun, we were racing far.
If it wasn't for that, that thing would have been a beast.
So we race. I take it home because I'm tired. No, you call. Or y'all got pulled over. I saw we got split up and y'all got pulled over. He's looking at me like he don't remember the story.
No, I vaguely remember it.
Y'all got pulled over, and I'm like, oh shit. So I haul ass and go home, put it up. I'm back out into town. Y'all are still getting pulled over.
Yeah.
It was Clay pulled y'all over.
Yep.
And I think he had clocked me, but hadn't clocked y'all maybe. And he let y'all go, and he's like, you tell your buddy in that white Camaro, I'm going to bust his ass before the night's over.
And then, little did he know, it was gone.
It was in the shed.
Listen, I couldn't tell you how many times that Jeff has had to run home to put something up. And he'll stay up for about a week or two before it ever comes back.
It's a good thing about having multiple cars to drive, I guess.
I'm pretty sure the Cyclone's been put up a time or two.
Yeah.
I about died one time in Clark's Chapel trying to keep up with you in the Cyclone.
Yeah, that was you and Justin.
I was in the primer pits.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was real bad. The fact that I even remotely kept up with you in that old thing is really bad.
I guess my other burnout story we left out racing was whenever we got pulled over in the Power Stroke trying to race Derek, and Mikey's Cummins, which I would have outran, or did later, I think. It had the 6 gun on it, and it was supposed to be bad. I had the big Predator and the 6.0, nothing else, mind you, no exhaust, no cold air intake, but it would spin for days.
Forever. But you didn't have tires on you.
No, I had stock tires. We tried to race, and that thing, all you could see was just smoke and tires.
In front of the hot spot.
In front of hot, right in the middle of town. And when the smoke cleared and I finally kind of caught a little track, or if I could just let off, I look up in the mirror and there's blue lights everywhere. I'm like, this is bad. This is not good.
That's one of the stories I do remember for sure.
When what's his name was standing in the window staring at you, like right there.
I'm like, oh great. Thought we were going to prison.
Yeah, me too. That's whenever he come back up and he's like, I could write you a reckless driving ticket, but that's just a waste of my time and the court's time. He's like, I've been back there trying to figure out something to write. We've had multiple complaints about you and your driving. He's like, I'm just going to let you go with a warning. I'm like, okay. I mean, we were racing, but that's cool.
Have you ever got a ticket?
Yeah.
For what?
Recently or ever?
I mean, for like something not like stupid insurance type stuff, like an actual...
I got that one speeding ticket in the Mach 1.
Where was that at?
Going to Hazel. When I was running like 74 right after I'd been running.
Yeah, but you'd been running like
120, yeah. And then...
That one got dropped though, didn't it?
Yeah, it got dropped. That's the only ticket I've ever had. Other than the inspection sticker ticket I got being dummy blocker for you. Because you're afraid your turn signals are out or something and wanted me to go through, see if there was a roadblock.
Yeah,
there was.
Check out a roadblock because I had heard that there was a roadblock, and you went and checked it out, and then you got a ticket.
Got an inspection sticker ticket in the code.
Well, I didn't know that you was going to go check it out and actually not have everything up to par, okay?
I know.
I had you go do it because you were the friend that always had new stuff that was supposed to be up to par. I was the one trying to piece together an old pile of shit to keep running.
So, we forgot this in our broke podcast in the last episode. Speaking of Z28s, remember the other Z28?
Is it the green one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that one. It looks black from here, but I remember.
Well, I ran it hot. And remember we were going to change. Remember we changed the thermostat in it?
Yes.
And we broke the bolt off in the intake?
Yes. First of all, we didn't. You make it sound as if it was something we did. It literally, I think someone cross-threaded it. We barely even turned it to take it out, and it snapped off. I don't remember, how did we get that out? I don't think
we didn't stand it.
I was about to say stand.
My dad was like, don't touch it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. You know, it ended up blowing a head gasket. I tried to tell him I ran it hot. I mean, it was hot. And we hauled that thing all the way to Daytona to sell. And it was down there. It was puffing white smoke like crazy. And I'm like, it's supposed to blow a head gasket. He's like, it's cold. It's warming up. I'm like, we're at the beach. We're in Daytona. It's not cold. And he got it home, and some guy come to buy it, and it was pouring white smoke. He's like, that blooming thing had a blown head gasket.
What did you do?
They sold it.
With a blown head gasket,
yeah.
Or did you fix it?
No, we sold it.
I just had to take,
$50
off?
Probably took 50 cents off.
Probably.
So those are fun cars, though. I'd like to have another one.
What year was that one?
They're both 70.5s.
We'll get you one.
It's funny, because the white one was actually originally that green color. It had been painted white.
I remember the white one.
It was right. They're both. That motor, which is the same thing as in those LT1 Corvettes, is probably the baddest small block Chevrolet ever put out as far as high rev and fun.
You gonna get you one?
Because they're like $1 million grand. I like to buy an LT1. The LT1 Vet is like on my want list. Like,
Yeah, and so was the LT1 vet. Oh, you said vet. I thought you were saying. I remember you telling me.
I want to know the LT1 vet.
Yeah, I know.
Bad.
Yeah. Do we have time to go into all the things that you want?
Not on this episode.
Bad. Do we have time for that? Or... I'm not sure there's enough.
Shh. I'm trying to make a break in the sound so I can edit this out so I know where it's at.
No.
You're a dick.
Thank you.
I'm done. I'm tired of this podcast. I'm over it. Quitting. Stopping. Y'all be pretty.
Well, Shane's.